Hello, today I'm going to be talking about a classroom observation that I did using the APERS rating scale. The classroom I observed was made up of 8 students and 4 adults in the classroom. The class was were first and second graders, and the disabilities ranged from autism to specific learning disabilities and among others as well. In the first section for the learning environments, this section really looked at the classroom setting, the design, the learning environment, as well as the physical structure or the boundaries that exist in those particular areas. And although I felt that the classroom was small, I was able to see that it had its own different spaces. So they had a library space, they had a computer space, they had some cubbies in the back with each student's name, and they had like 2 cubbies where they could hang up their jackets, place their backpacks inside, and then any other belongings of theirs could go in that space. As far as supporting the space, for example, the library had a different type of rug compared to the one that was in the classroom, and it also has some pillows on around the carpet. So this really signified to a student that if they were in that space, it was to relax, and it also was to read. So I thought overall they did a really good job of labeling and making sure that students understood the space that they were in. The next section is learning environment, structure, and schedule. I thought this class did a really good job showing visually the schedules. So right next to the smart board there was a large board with little tags that said things throughout the day. So it said morning meeting, it said recess, it said lunch, a spelling, math, and what I thought was cool about it was that there was a clothespin on one of those tasks, and that identified that that's what they were currently working on. So, for example, I came in, and if they didn't tell me that they were working on spelling, I would be able to look at that schedule, see where the clothespin is located, and say, oh, they're working on spelling right now. And I thought this was really good, because if I was able to see that, then any student that maybe is coming from some type of, either they came in late or they were receiving services in another area and came back to class, they wouldn't have to look around, they would just be able to look at the schedule. Another neat thing that I saw was that same schedule was then made smaller, almost like index cards, and they were taped onto their desk. And those this schedule was a little more specific because it actually had the times. So for example, if it was spelling, it would say from 12:50 to 1:15. So it had it broken up in times as well. And then it also had on the side a line, and when I walked around and looked, I had seen that some students had actually done check marks, kind of checking them off as they're going throughout the day. Another thing that I noticed on the schedule was that there were little dots, little blue dots with some of the students' names on it, and that represented services. So if little Johnny wanted to know when he was going to be going to speech therapy, and it was placed during math, then he would know that when it was time for math, he would be able to go to see the speech pathologist. So it really is a friendly reminder, and it lets kids keep track and eliminates that confusion of, am I going now? When am I going? So I thought that was pretty good. And that schedule was also placed in the back of the door. And the slats are removable, so the teacher did let me know that there are times when they do have to flip things around or eliminate something, so that's why it's removable. So overall, I thought they did a really, really good job of letting the kids know where they are throughout their day, and that feeling of not knowing what to do or what comes next was, I feel, could definitely be eliminated by having those visuals there. The next area is in positive learning climate. So when I got there, they had just begun working on spelling, and the students were split. So 2 adults took 1 student each, and then the 2 other teachers took on a small group of 3. And they all worked on spelling at different pace, and they had, basically the students were given like 20 different words, and they had to match them according to the root of the word that it started with. So I felt that the overall, the tone and the mood was very welcoming and friendly. Even when students were being redirected, I never heard anyone's voice, anyone's tone rise or change. It was very matter of fact, and all the students just pretty much, if they were being directed, just complied and did what they were supposed to do. So I felt that the respect and the level of kindness, especially working with that age group, was very appropriate. My only thing that I would say when it came to acknowledging the students' efforts and giving them praise, I do feel that that could have been just a little bit more heightened up, and giving those high fives or giving those thumbs up. Good job, you did it, you're almost there. Especially for, there were 2 students that were struggling a little bit completing the task, and I felt like they could have used just a little more exaggerated acknowledgement of letting them know, hey, you're almost there, 2 more, 3 more, or 1 more, and help them move along in finishing. But again, overall, I thought my observation in this class was pretty organized and pretty well planned, and I definitely feel like all the 4 adults in the classroom were in sync and knew exactly the needs of each student, and it showed how cohesive and they were able to all work together. So overall, I really enjoyed my observation. Thank you.